rig weighs too much, that could be a problem. A really big problem.
In this video, we're going to show you where to find the weights that matter for your truck and RV. And then we'll show you how to accurately weigh your RV. If you've seen many of our videos, you may have noticed that we've added a little weight to Abby Maybe. Post in the comments below if you think our rig is overweight, and we'll let you know in the end if we have been traveling dangerously. One thing you want to make sure of when you weigh your RV is that it is pretty much full, like worst case scenario. So having your tanks full and having your stuff loaded is a great idea. So right now I'm filling up the fresh water tank. You can also just do some simple math and figure out how many gallons each tank holds and then add that to whatever weight you get at the scale.
If anyone has a better way than this to tell if your fresh water tank is full, please let me know, because waiting for the water to gush out just seems kind of dumb.
Many unbearable hours later.
Let's break it down. Well, that should about do it. There's some numbers you really want to understand. If you look right here on the side of your RV, you'll have some information. This is the weight of the cargo should never exceed 3,767 pounds. A full load of water equals 830 pounds if you want to just do math instead of filling up your water tanks. That took me forever. And then this is a twin axle trailer, fifth wheel, and so I can see that the front axle can hold 7,000 pounds. The rear axle can hold 7,000 pounds, and I can see that the max weight that this whole RV can hold, the gross vehicle weight rating, which is GVWR, is 16,827 pounds. So if I weigh this rig all by itself without the truck attached, full of all the things that go in it, including water and cargo and all that junk, it should never weigh more than that. Here inside the driver's door, there's some other numbers you need to be familiar with. Number one, each axle can hold a certain amount of weight. This is the front axle, that is the gross axle weight rating, and the front axle can hold a total of 5,600 pounds safely, and the rear axle, rear gross axle weight rating is 9,900 pounds. The reason this truck can hold so much more weight on the back is because it's a dually. It's got two tires on the rear axle on each side. And then the gross vehicle weight rating, the most this vehicle should ever hold, including fuel, occupants, everything, cargo, is 14,000 pounds. Another weight you want to be concerned about is the tow capacity of your truck, and that's a little bit harder to find. Let's see if I can find it. To my knowledge, the only way to get the exact tow capacity of your specific vehicle, the way it is configured, is from the manufacturer. But here's a place to get a rough idea of the tow capacity. Just go to rv.campingworld.com/tow guide, type in the VIN of your truck, and find your truck in the list that pops up here. In this case, I've got this one, the 4x4 XL, and the tow limit for my vehicle is 31,300 pounds, and I'm fairly confident that's only for a fifth wheel. For a travel trailer, it would be significantly less than that. You can tow much more with a fifth wheel than you can with a regular bumper pull. If my fifth wheel is anywhere near this weight, I'm in big trouble. It should be somewhere around half of that or less. So I'm really confident that my truck can handle my trailer. I just need to make sure that my trailer can handle my trailer.
There's a lot of ways you can weigh your RV, but I would say the best way is to go into a CAT scale, and there are hundreds of them across the country. We're going to show you how. You're going to go into the App Store and type in CAT scale, and what you're going to find is like two things. One that says weigh my truck, and one is a locator. Use the locator to find the nearest CAT scale to you. It's going to be a lot easier if you go ahead and set that CAT scale app up on your computer before you even drive there.
I've been a little reluctant to have this conversation with Leela, but we're going to have it right now. Weight actually matters. The weight of your RV, the weight of your truck and RV together, all that stuff matters. And the main reason is safety. If you're overloaded, it can cause damage to your truck. If you're towing more than your truck can handle, and if your rig weighs more just by itself, it may not be able to handle itself. If you overload it, it's going to be bad on the axles, and it can cause accidents, all kinds of things. So you got to make sure that you're within the weight limits, the whole thing and each piece individually. So we're going to weigh all of that right now. The question is our rig overweight? The max capacity you saw on those stickers is a little over 16,000 pounds, which the whole thing should weigh with everything in it, fuel and everything. And you know, when you buy it, it's gonna be fine if you buy it brand new, but we gutted the whole thing. We did a lot of stuff. I mean, we ripped out the whole thing and we put in new floors. We had little vinyl floors that weighed nothing. We put in these LVP floors. I'm like, Leela, this LVP stuff is really heavy. She's like, it'll be fine. And then this wall right here, LVP, there's a whole wall. Every box broke my back. So I'm like, oh my gosh, and this thing right here, this thing weighs a ton.
Wait. That's Trevor's thing. That's what I was sitting there talking about weight. And
yeah. And then we stuck in. Can you see that?
We
got the washer and dryer over there. Those ain't light. So
this is a toy hauler.
We have a lot of weight. So we went all the way across country on back, having never weighed our rig, which is really irresponsible. So will this thing be overweight? Right now it's got a full tank of water, fresh water. The other tanks are probably empty, so we'd have to add on, worst case scenario, add a little weight for that. The fuel's, I think, like half full. We got 2 gas tanks on this thing. So what do you think? Post in the comments below. Do you think we're gonna be overweight right now, over 16,000 pounds? Were we traveling dangerously? I am dying to find out. Let's go to the scales.
Maybe I'll hide my eyes.
So I'm a little worried. Are you worried?
You're rambling.
The only reason we might be okay is because this is a toy hauler and we don't haul any toys. So that'll give us a little slack for all the stuff she made us put in here to make it all pretty. Okay, this is a little bit intimidating. We're at this truck stop with a cat scale and there's all these big monster trucks and I got my little baby dually. Those guys are going to get fuel, but the scale seems to be empty, so I think we're golden here.
I think it's way easier to navigate the gas stations at a truck stop. I've done it, I've pulled in many times, so don't be afraid to pull in the truck stops. They're not just for those big rigs. You can use them too.
You pull into the scales, you put 1 axle on each of the plates. There's a plate for each axle. There's the rear axle, and there are the axles for the rig. And let me just see if I'm all the way on that plate over here. Looks like I'm good, so hopefully I'll get an accurate measurement. That's the first thing you do. And then you look up here and you see the location number, location 503, so we plug that into our app. I've got the app open here. I'm gonna hit open, weigh my truck. And I'm waiting, and I put the cat scale location, which we already saw was 503. Hit done, hit accept. And you're supposed to put in a tractor or trailer number. I don't have one, I'm not a rig. I'll just put in 1, so it doesn't matter. And freight all kinds. Kind of stuff doesn't matter much, I hit accept. And then I wait. 12 bucks, not bad. There we go. Look at that. Now we know how much the combined weight of the truck and trailer is, but we don't know how much the trailer is by itself. So what we're gonna do is detach the RV right now and then just go with the truck, do some simple math, and boom, we'll know if that thing is too heavy. Let's detach this beast.
Do you remember the first night we slept in this thing?
Yeah, it was great. I loved it.
We didn't detach because we were too afraid.
Didn't know how. Now we're gonna detach it in like 10 seconds. Yeah! Tailgate's down this time. That's really important. Let's go weigh the truck. You excited? I'm kind of excited.
I'm way excited because the preliminary numbers are looking in my favor.
Okay, we're pulling out of the scales with just the truck right now, and we're gonna have the front axle on 1 plate and the rear axle on the other plate. And I'm just gonna double check, make sure. Yeah, we're good. And then you go through the same process. Reweigh. Boom. Accept. Yeah, see, $3 instead of $12.50. Whoa, 9,000 pounds exactly for this. So we're gonna have to go get that printout and do some math and see if we're within the legal limits.
Right, dude. That's pretty easy. 9,000 minus, what was the other one?
Unknowable.
I win. I freaking win. He's been giving me a hard time about this. Literally, the setup in the back there in the RV, I had no idea what he was gonna say because he thought he was gonna be like, this thing is so overloaded.
The weigh receipt, please.
Okay.
Never done it before. How do I do it?
We're gonna come out here.
Sweet.
Inside down here.
Sir, do you have a camera on her? You can't have a camera on.
So here's the intimidating part, man. You know, making those guys wait. But inside, they gave me this, and it looks like preliminary numbers are. This is the moment that she and I have all been waiting for. We got the numbers here. I'm gonna have Leela look at them, do some math, and see if we have been traveling illegally for all of these months.
There's some audio from when we were at the scales yesterday that he didn't know that I recorded, so I was already preliminary figuring this out. You
probably already heard it. If it was good audio, I put it in the video. If it wasn't, then
define good, meaning that I was right.
Good means entertaining. If it was entertaining, you probably already heard it, unless it made me look bad, in which case it would have been deleted. So when you go to the cat scales, you get this, and I'm going to pop it up on the screen so you can follow along with us when it's appropriate. But it gives you, I'm going to teach you in Leela things that I just learned. You have these numbers. You've got the steer axle on the top. That is the weight of the front end of the truck. And that's on a separate scale. The drive axle, which is the rear end of the truck. The trailer axle, which is the trailer, you know, we've got two axles on the trailer, so that's the combined weight of the trailer axle. And then the total axle, that's the weight of the truck and the RV combined. And so
we have 4 axles.
Yeah, we have 4 axles.
And the reason I know that, because we were on a toll bridge in Louisiana, and we had to pay for each axle on the.
Oh yeah, they made us pay for each axle. That's dumb.
Yes, and they only take cash.
Always have cash, or hit up your daughter for the rest.
Or a check. The most
they take cash. Don't they know it's like 2021? Like, give me a break.
And I remembered, like, we were out of checks, and I remember that we had cash in the back in the RV. So in the middle of the tow bridge, I jumped out and got cash out of the RV.
It's 1923 here on the toll roads. On the inside of your door, I showed you this earlier, you can get some weights that are of value. Right here, this inside our door, it says front GAWR, that's front gross axle weight rating. That's the same thing as the steer axle. So see if it works. So we can have up to how much weight?
5,600 pounds.
5,600 pounds on the front axle of the truck, and the steer axle is
5,120.
So
we are
front axle, we're golden. The rear one we can have up to 9,900 pounds. Whoa.
Hey. And that's this one, and we only have 6,960 on it.
Right, so we're good. So that's all hooked up, all loaded, pretty much fully loaded. We'll talk about that in a second. And then trailer axle, that's how much weight you can have on those 2 axles on the trailer. And you never really have all the weight on those 2 axles, because part of it's going to be on either the lifts, jacks, what are they called? Or it's going to be on the tongue in the back of your truck, right? So
because there is some pressure on the tongue.
Yeah, there's pressure on the tongue. That's called the I know that one. It's called the
toe. It's not a toe hinge.
It'll come to me. That's a weight that matters too, but we're gonna skip that one today. What you're looking at now is a sticker on the side of the RV which shows us how much each axle on the trailer can hold, the max capacity, and that's the GAWR. Same thing we saw on the truck, gross axle weight rating. And this is for the front axle. How much is that, Leela?
It's 7,000 pounds.
And the rear axle?
7,000 pounds.
And combined, they make how much?
14,000.
So that would be on this piece of yellow paper that you get from Cat Scale, guys.
It is the total trailer axle weight, which is 12,540 pounds. That meaning 14,000 minus 12,540 means that we are underweight by
1,460 pounds. So we're underweight, that's hooked up, but we still got more.
I was right.
Now we got to figure out how much the trailer weighs all by itself, not attached to the truck. Here's a sticker on the side of the RV. It shows us the gross vehicle weight rating for the entire trailer. This is the most the trailer should ever have in it, fully loaded, which is how much, Leela Jones?
16,827 pounds.
So this trailer can hold a lot because it's a
toy hauler.
Hauler.
That was part of the reason why I was really excited about the toy hauler part. Not only did it work for us, but I knew that when we were going to turn this into a tiny house, that it gave us a lot of extra weight room.
So she could add really heavy stuff like that. In order to figure out how much the entire RV weighs all by itself, all full, we take the total axle weight rating from that first scale measurement, and then we take the weight of the entire truck from that second measurement, and we subtract the truck weight from the total weight, and then we get how much this entire trailer weighs, and our goal is for it to weigh less than 16,827 pounds, totally full. So, Leela Jones, let's do some math.
Okay.
The total axle weight rating is 24620 minus the total weight rating of the whole truck, which is 9,000. And that gives us a weight of
15,620.
15,620. And the most we can ever have in this vehicle is
16,827.
So right now, as we are loaded, we're how much?
1207.
We're 1,200 pounds underweight. We have full water. We have partial fuel in the RV because we can hold up to 30 gallons here. We're pretty
Monitors, computers.
we're about as full as we get, minus a case of Monster Energy drink is about all we'd probably have extra.
Yeah, and we don't have the dogs in here while we're recording this, so I don't know how much your dog weighs.
The dogs are like a metric ton. So the only thing that would add significant weight that's not in here right now is if the tanks were full, the black tank and the gray tank. And I have pulled this document up right here. Our gray tank can hold how many gallons of water?
You can read it, 64.
I know, but I'm testing. You're like the Ivana White chick. You're the reason people watch.
Ivana White, the Vanna White.
Her! Ivanka, whatever. So
Wrong person.
Okay, got it.
64 gallons.
Of gray and
32.
of black, and combined they make?
Oh my gosh, Trevor, 96. Oh.
Oh yeah, that's right. So we could have another 96 gallons in here right now. Okay. And 96 gallons, a gallon of water weighs 8.34, so it's 96 times 8.34, 800 pounds. So we had 1,200 pounds of leeway, fill up the tanks, and we're still 400 pounds under. So I guess even with all of the fancy upgrades she forced me to do against my will, we're safe and legal.
Even with the dogs.
Even my fat dogs.
I was a little afraid because we did have a strut bust. Was that a strut or something that we paid? What did we recently get prepared?
We had a connector to a leaf spring that went doing.
I know. Okay.
Not the leaf spring itself, but there was like a little connection.
I don't even know what the leaf spring is, but whatever it was.
On the trailer, and that's not good. It's like, oh, I mean, is it overweight? It wasn't. It just.
Well, that's what I was worried about. I almost wanted to bury my head in the sand and think he's going to blame me if that's the reason.
Make sure you weigh your vehicle before you go out and travel across the country and back, because we kind of lucked out, but hopefully you'll be smarter.
Yeah, and it's good to know. We've got 400 pounds. Now I can actually add the dining room table in the back that I want.
Post in the comments below how much your rig weighs, if you know, or just post haven't weighed it. I really want to see what you guys have done, you other RVers.
And I know a lot of people have been commenting for quite a few months, like, wonder how much that thing weighs. Well, I win. I get it.
She always wins. I never have a chance. To see our RV adventure from start to finish, in case you missed it, you want to click on that video right over her face, it's probably like right over there, and hit subscribe right down there so you catch all our adventures. We can't wait to share our adventure with you.